Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Monday night's edition of Paranormal Question a Day. We're right back right after a short intro. Hey everyone, this is Darren Buss with Paranormal Question Today. Coming up this Monday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're having Kandi Slater on. We're going to be talking about the YMCA Paracon and her time at the Waushara County Historical Museum. All that and more coming up next. And we are back. Nice little short intro.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll wait for a few people to get on here while we're chit-chatting and let my phone charge. Oh, and we already got people on. Sweet deal.
Oh, hey, Larry. In
Mr.
Wisconsin
Larry.
time.
All right. How's it going? There's Wisconsin true crime there, and Larry. We got Ben. How you doing? And we got Mr. Tom. All right, we're getting a good start here.
Yay.
So, yeah, it's been a wild last. Hey, Jenny. And we got Jenny again. And she's recovering from COVID, I believe.
Yeah.
Sound like she had it pretty bad.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. She was hurting. That's for sure.
And for what it sounds like, she had what I had the first time around. It was bad. I was out for 18 days out of work.
I don't wish that on anybody. It's awful.
Yeah, I never had something that made me want to cry. Oh, I cried.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Tiffy.
Hey, how you doing? Welcome. Yeah, my head was popping. Oh my God, it sucked. I couldn't barely walk my hallway.
Oh, I had it, and I worked from home. Believe it or not, I needed to work, so I did all my stuff from home. I was like, oh, thank God.
Right.
Working with the popsicle in one hand, because I don't know about you, but my throat was so sore I couldn't.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't swallow.
It was my throat. It was my head. It was just constant coughing.
Yep.
And that's where I got vertigo from.
Yeah.
So that's even worse yet to deal with, and it's actually stuck with me too.
Ugh, that's not good.
So I just watched a video on somebody.
Cecilia.
Hey, welcome. So I watched a video on yesterday where some guy put looked like a balloon. You stuff a balloon in your nose and you breathe deep, close your mouth, and then he pulls it out and it's like pops your head or something like that.
Yeah, no, I'm not thinking anything up my nose. I'll pass.
Yeah, he did like both nose. I was like, geez.
Hey, Alicia. Oh, this is great. We got lots of people coming.
Yes, we do. All right, so let's kick it off here. So welcome to the show. Let's start out, Kandi, talking about your new team that you got going. Want to talk about that?
Yeah, we're called From the Ashes Paranormal, and right now it's myself, my husband Derek, one of my best friends Carrie. Then we've got Stacy, who lives here in Dubuque with me. A lot of people know her on Facebook as Carly Kane. Josie Roberts of Silent Explorers is with us. And another exciting part is Catherine Cyrillos, world-renowned psychic medium over in Greece. Her and her two daughters are a part of the team now.
Oh, okay.
So
I think that was
to give you an idea today, this was the coolest thing. I sent them. Now, they have no idea who Ed Gein is, right? Never heard of him. No reason to. They live in Greece, right?
Right.
Sent them a picture of Ed Gein. Now, Catherine knew a little bit because she was in on our investigation Saturday night. But her two daughters, no clue, sent him a picture of the knife, a picture of the house. And they were hitting it spot on. I sent him a picture of Bernice and a picture of the mother, and the one's like, "Yep, that's the mother to the killer guy." And they were piecing this stuff together. So it was incredible. It was
Interesting.
I can't wait to see what they do because they're in the process of getting everything ready to move to the States permanently. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, they're going to be here before long and living in the States permanently if all goes as planned. Fingers
Yep, all
crossed.
the visas and all that stuff, then
Yep.
yeah, yeah. So they're gonna move right to Dubuque then, or
Their plan is to come right to Dubuque. Yep. Because
wow,
they'll have a good support system here. My mom, my sister, our family just adores them. So they'll come here, have a great support system. So, moving across the ocean, you got to know more than just one or two people. And yeah, so
right?
it's going to be awesome.
Yep, and show them the boring highway of Highway 20.
Ugh, no, thank you. That one is boring. Yeah.
Oh, I swear like I said, we were coming back from Storm Lake, and I swear, like every 20 miles, like there was like spot of pig poop somewhere to keep us awake because it stunk so bad for five,
Uh-huh.
7 miles.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh, really? But it was interesting.
And Jenny says, soon her. Yeah, we're talking. Jenny might be a part of the team as well. We're
Wow.
talking to her about that. So yeah.
How many teams are you on now, Jenny? It seems like every time I turn the next week, she's on another team. Or nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding with you.
She's awesome. Hey, Becky.
Hey, Becky. Um, so how did you come up with your team name? How that come out all about?
Well, Derek, myself, and Carrie, we've been going through a lot of hell the last year. And I
Mm-hmm.
actually have this, I've always loved the Phoenix, right?
Right.
And I kept thinking, I'm going, what can I do? Like something to do with the Phoenix, but there was already a rising Phoenix, Phoenix rising. And I looked down at my sweatshirt and it said, "From the ashes I rise."
Mm.
And it's got the Phoenix on it. And I'm like, oh my God. And as I'm typing from the ashes, because I was throwing stuff out with Carrie about the Phoenix, and we typed the same thing at the same time. And we're like, that's it.
There you go.
We got the name.
That works. That works. Uh, 1 second. I know I forgot to do something. I gotta get Taryn on if she's available. Oops. Nope, that's not what I want to do. There we go. I knew I forgot something.
Uh-oh.
Don't mind me, folks. If you see my big head going forward. There. She can yell at me when she gets in. um, well, she's working technically right now, so she might come in at some point.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, that's a pretty cool way of coming up with the name. I mean, it's
Mhm.
just it's not too often you see that with and the Phoenix has really got a good ring to it, you know.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, that's pretty cool. So let's talk about YMCA Paracon.
Okay. Yeah. It was great. We had over 1,600 people through the door.
Wow.
So for a first year, we were pretty pleased. 78 vendors. When I first started talking to you, like I said, I was going to be happy with 20.
Right.
And it just kept growing and growing. And we ended up with 78 different vendors there. A lot, like Jenny was there, yeah. Over 20 mediums,
Mm.
doing, or psychics, I should say, doing their readings and things, presentations. We ended up, Dave Schrader was there.
Yeah.
Rick Hayes. I don't know if you know Rick Hayes. He is the most phenomenal, nice gentleman I've ever met. He's incredible. Paraflix. Natalie Jones was there and had 4 of her shows there. So Yeah, we had Solo in the Shadows, Nick Sarlo, his group, Shadow Hunters. We Are Paranormal, Mike and Nate were there. Larry Eisler, Expedition Entity, and Paige, and Natalie herself.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, and so many teams, and just so much para unity. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the night, like I had sprained my ankle
Oh, okay.
the 2 weeks before. So messed up some ligaments, sprained the ankle. I was hobbling around because I refused to not do anything. So I'm hobbling around. It got to the end. And at midnight, Jenny and I sat down in these 2 chairs. I had my foot up. They made me put ice on it. And the next thing you know, Jenny and I are curled up on the chairs with our heads together sleeping.
Well, I mean, those can tend to be a long, long day. I mean, I attended the one at Broadhead. Wasn't there very long. I think maybe we were there for 3 hours, maybe at the most.
Mm-hmm.
And but 3 hours sometimes for me is enough because you can
Mm-hmm.
get around. And
Yep.
but 7 8 vendors is a lot of people. I mean, so did you have any like fears or reservations when going into this at all about getting all started, being how it's your first one and stuff like that? And um,
No, actually, because I thrive under that pressure. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Throw whatever you can at me. And we were ready for hiccups. And, it was the first year. So we knew there were going to be something always is going to go wrong. And we just learn and say, okay, we'll pick up from it and improve on it next year.
yeah, yeah, that's true too. I mean, I've been to a few of Kelly McCarville's paranormal expos and stuff like that, and
Mm-hmm.
so they're pretty well spaced out there and diverse with a paranormal
Yeah.
table and
Yeah.
round table. And I think you had that too. Did you have like a round, like a table paranormal speak part?
Yeah, we had 3 rooms of presentations, and that was one of the things we probably could have done a little better because we found out 3/4 of the way through the box of programs, only a few programs got put out, and the rest were still sitting there. They weren't getting handed out, so people didn't know all of the presentations that were going on.
Hmm.
So that's a little hiccup, we learned for next year, but the presentations though, people were loving them. We had, like I said, Rick Hayes, a full crowd, Dave Schrader, full crowd, Aaron and Nick of 28 Days Haunted with We Are Paranormal. Great, people were just loving the different variety. We had Jenny Wagner, the
Hmm.
pet communicator. She did a presentation about how, speaking with pets,
I
which,
need one here for my pet. He's driving me nuts.
she was incredible. I had a reading with her last week or the week before.
Uh-huh.
It was incredible. It was the most
Hey, Brandy.
unique thing. She had never. Hey, Brandy. I actually met Brandy at the Paracon. She was there. She is amazing. Um, but Jenny, we got her on and she did a reading. She was telling us stuff about our dog that there's no way, she wouldn't have known this stuff unless it was the real deal. And it was Derek was the one who, when we had to have our one dog put down couple years back, had to be the
Hmm.
one to take him to the vet. Didn't think that's what we were taking him to the vet for, but it ended up terminal. The vet was like, he's suffering, he's in bad pain. Derek had to be the one, but he was there holding him when he did. And all of a sudden she goes, and you have another dog. And she knew that Derek had to make the decision to put him down. And she's like, he wants you to know he was happy you were there for him and he would have made the same decision for you.
Hmm.
And it's like, since then, it has lifted so much weight off of Derek that
Yeah.
it's like, God, it's neat to hear what they say. So she gave us messages from the live pet and our
Okay.
deceased pets. So it was super cool. One of the most cool experiences I've had in a long time.
That's interesting because that's like the cat I got now. We had to pull all his teeth. So, like, he's flinging his stuff everywhere he goes.
Aw.
And he's such a dirty cat now. He's like a trash cat. But it's like when he had his teeth and he wasn't such a trash cat, he was like the most cuddling kind of cat you ever could have. Like he would literally
Mhm.
put you to sleep.
Aw.
And now it's like we can't hardly be near him, or we pick him up, but we can't hardly be near him because he stinks so bad. We give him baths as much as we can. It's like
Huh.
I don't get this, It's like
Oh, makes sense, yeah.
he's a big cat though. I mean, he's tall. He was
Mhm.
almost 20 pounds, and
Oh,
then when he
wow.
lost his teeth, he's back down to like 12 to 13 pounds.
Oh, wow. So, yeah,
Yeah,
he's
like
lost weight.
yeah. So I don't know what we're gonna do with this guy, but hopefully things will turn around for him. He starts. I mean, he was gaining weight, but it's just I don't know. It's one of those things. We're
Yeah.
on cats. What 6, 7? No, 7, 8, and 9 is what we're on for cats now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we had 3 die all in 1 year. Hey, Denise, or we had to put them down, I should say. So, hey, Lori.
Hey, Lori.
So, yeah, it gets tough with yeah, we'll get into Saturday's investigation. So what are the things that you like the most that worked out the best, and what are the things that you would like to change for next year as far as the Paracon? And do you expect to or I shouldn't say expect, would you like to have the same amount of vendors, or would you like to go a little bit lower?
Same number. We've already we tried to do things on a couple floors
Hmm.
but some of the people didn't like that, so we came up with new ways. We're gonna clear out more of the furniture on the main floor and get everybody on one floor. Obviously, the presentations still have to go on different floors, but we've got some different things worked out there. So that would be the biggest change, is getting everybody on one floor. Things that worked well. God, so yeah, we want the same amount of vendors, and probably if we have a few more, it'll still work.
Hmm.
Um, but one of the best things, we had such a wide variety, and I can honestly say, and I know Jenny can back me up because she was there, so can Brandy. There were no egos. Everybody was there for the right reason. Everybody liked everybody. There was none of this, well, I'm better than this person. It was amazing. So yeah, we it,
Yeah.
it I can't complain. I can't, yeah, we got some learning curve. A few
Hmm.
things we're going to change, but even the most experienced people with paracons have things that come up that need to be changed from time to time. So
Right, right. How did the investigations go? Did you do those Friday nights and Saturday, or is it just Saturday?
we did Friday night, as the vendors, they were allowed to come in and set up their tables Friday night, and then they were offered the opportunity, if you want to go investigate from once it was set up. um, Once they were set up, they could go investigate until midnight. So that way they got their chance too, because which our private, the VIP investigation on Saturday night did sell out.
Mhm.
So we didn't want to have all the vendors right away in line to buy those tickets and then the general public not be able to.
Right.
So that's why we kind of said, okay, if there are vendors that want to join later, they can have that opportunity, but let's give the general public first a chance to buy those tickets. And yet it did sell out, so that was a good thing. And ACG did a phenomenal job. Aaron G. Thompson, he stepped up and helped run some sessions that I think everybody had a great time with the investigations.
Yeah. Do you think it's something like this would be like a 2-dayer instead of a 1 day next time, or just kind of spread things out a little bit more, or is it just still like to keep it on 1 day?
Well, the reason we picked 1 day, a lot of people have to travel.
Correct.
And it gets expensive for them having to put up, you know, one night in a hotel versus two, or 2 nights versus 3 nights, trying to keep it affordable for vendors so that they want to come and do it too, because if it gets too expensive for them, they're not going to want to come either,
Right,
So
right. No, I
we're
get you.
kind of looking at still just doing one day, but we're going to decide all that after the first of the year.
Okay. So it was a $5 entry fee, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So you'll still keep that for next year for the same price, or you think you might have to raise it a little bit?
Nope, we're planning on keeping it the same price, keeping it affordable for people to come.
Mhm.
So then not only can they come, you could bring a family of 4 for $20.
Yeah,
And they've got a whole day of fun, because with that many vendors, and they still would have money left to support those vendors.
correct.
Because our
Correct.
thought was, well, if we go charging $50, $100 to get in, that adds up quick, and then you don't have the money to spend on the vendors.
Right.
So yeah.
And I see that. That is a good point. I mean, I think Glenn Beulah was 75 to get in, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But then you also had the opportunity to go investigate the civilian asylum, correct?
I believe so. I don't know. I didn't go to that one. I had other plans that night,
Okay.
an investigation, so I didn't get to go there, but I think it was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So on Friday and Saturday, how was the investigations? Were they pretty active, not as active, or is it just kind of?
From what we heard, everybody that went on the investigations had great experiences. It was great. So I hadn't, like I said, I had my sprained ankle, so I didn't get to do the
Right.
investigation, because by that time, and we were still breaking things down, so I was hobbling, so I didn't really get to do the investigation. But
Right.
early Friday night, I went down in the boiler room with some of the team from Shadow Hunters and Deidre, and I know Carly was there, Aaliyah Bolden. We went down there and they were picking things up and having experiences. I think Brandy and Mindy, they had some great experiences. I know Alicia had some experiences, if I remember right. And Jenny, she was just a blast. She was all over with me, and we were having fun. So
Very cool. Very cool. There we go. Well, had it.
yeah, I went to get up and Jenny's like, no, you sit. I was told to sit, and I was not allowed to get up anymore. I know Shadow Hunters that Friday night and Saturday, they filmed an episode for their show that's going to come out. I believe it's the 29th or 30th on Paraflix. So that's coming up. So they got some neat activity. Yeah, I know they had some great activity Saturday night.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, hopefully we'll see if I can get out there next year. There are some talks about October of next year at the museum, so we'll have to see where that leads to. But we'll eventually get out there. Now, seems how like
October 5th.
October 5th. Okay.
October 5th. Yep, that's the date we're doing it.
Okay. Now, is this something like you would like to have something like this on site where people are talking, they get done, and they come down? We just kind of do a live interview. Is that something that would like help the Paracon at all in any kind of way for people to say, "Hey, come on down to the Paracon. We're here live."
We wanted to have that, but that kind of fell through at the last minute. The person who was going to help us do that ended up not doing that anymore. So, see, I could always have Darren come down and set up and go live for me and interview everybody.
Yeah, that's an idea. I mean, this is kind of my shtick. So, but yeah, we'll have to take a look at how the calendar is shaping out for next year, and we'll see if we can get something worked out. So
that would be awesome. Yeah, I was telling Jenny how much fun we had Saturday. I said, "Yeah, she's got to go to the museum next year."
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah. It was great.
It's really been popping for the last few weeks. So Everybody's been happy that's been there so far, and like I said, it only takes that one time where all of a sudden everything is clicking and everybody's coming, and I
Yep.
gotta be ready for the tours and all that stuff. So, um, so speaking of the museum,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about your night at the museum on Saturday night. So they were there at the Waushara County Historical Museum in Waton, Wisconsin, Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
And you could take it away from there.
Okay, so we had the opportunity, Scott Bowser, who wrote some books. He was actually there with us. Am I allowed to
Yeah.
use the name? Okay.
Yeah.
So he wrote some books about Ed Gein. And so it was kind of a great opportunity for us. We got to investigate with the author and had some responses coming through. Like I had the Epic box by Ghost Gear Tech sitting up on the cabinet, and I said, "Okay, Ed, were you held in this room?" No, and it was like immediate response, and Scott was like, "Oh wow, this is cool." So I'm like, "Were you held in that room over there?" And I pointed to where the drunk tank was.
Hmm.
Yes, it's just little. We didn't get a whole lot up until about 12:30. Keep in mind, we didn't get there until 10.
Hmm.
So it's not like we'd been there all day. But then Scott had to get going. And after that, we've got Catherine Cyrillos in Greece over on the phone with us doing a live video. And she had a session with Derek. Derek actually channeled Augusta, Ed's mom. And yeah, she was there. She wanted to protect her boy. That's why she was there. Big mama's boy was coming
Hmm.
through about the religion thing. We got that Elizabeth, which we didn't know the name Elizabeth at the time, right? Who's Elizabeth? We found out from Lori, Elizabeth was Henry's girlfriend.
Oh, there you go, Scott. He was wondering about that today.
And Lori told us that Elizabeth was Henry's girlfriend or fiance. And we were getting, and now it's open to interpretation. I want to go back and review everything, but that it sounds like there may have been a possibility that, as Scott has mentioned in his book, and stuff, that Ed may have killed the brother.
Hmm.
We're kind of wondering now with the evidence we were getting if Augusta had her hands in that a little bit.
It could very
Because
well be. I mean, that's the thing with this story. It always keeps evolving.
it was coming through that, all of a sudden the name, who's Elizabeth? Henry had to go because of Elizabeth. Henry had to go. I loved my son. I didn't mean it, but he had to go. So Ed took care of it.
Mm.
So open to interpretation, but we were kind of getting, did Augusta kind of put the thought in Ed's mind, and Ed being the mama's boy who wanted to please? Again,
Mhm.
I'm no expert by any means,
Right.
but that's
Everything
the,
is showing a brush fire, but
yeah, yeah. And, and it, especially when we find out that she didn't approve, I guess, and we had learned that from Scott,
Mhm.
that she didn't approve of Henry being in a relationship. So it was kind of like,
And
uh,
Elizabeth had kids. I think that was another key
oh,
element to
she
it.
brought that up too. Yeah, that she was, I forget what she called him. I'll have to go back and watch the video, but yeah, she was, she did not like Elizabeth because, yeah, she had a child, and I forget the word she used, but that was very,
Probably wedlock, out of wedlock.
yep. And she wasn't good enough for her boy, and she wasn't going to let that filth into the family.
Hmm.
So I
That's
was
pretty
like,
strong.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny. It's like I was telling Scott, it's like I found out where the shovel is, and that's actually at Zach Baggins' museum. He's got the shovel.
Okay.
So I'm like, Tom, get on the phone, get Pharaoh to get the shovel.
There you go.
I mean, I know he's got the cauldron, but in a lot of those shows and the ones that Scott was on for 4 episodes,
Mhm.
not once did they mention anything about the cauldron.
No, nothing was said about that.
So it makes me wonder, like, how important is the cauldron if it was just there as a drip tank, maybe.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So it's just one of those things you gotta think about. And I was like, okay. I still want the shovel.
I don't blame you. Oh God, because yeah, that knife that had some energy. See, when I hold it, I don't get the stuff like Derek gets. I get
Mhm.
okay. I'm holding a knife, and it kind of it creeped me out in the fact of knowing what he could have used it for.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we sent a picture to one of Catherine's daughters this morning. I said, "This knife was used in a crime. Can you tell me about it?"
Right.
He's like, "Yeah, the killer made it."
Hey, Jing.
And she's like, "It was special made." This is just what
I
she was
see.
doing by reading it. She said, "The point was made from a special way." She goes, "I see him digging in the dirt with it and prying something open, which is probably maybe the caskets."
Mm-hmm.
She's like, and the middle part, and she like circled it on the picture. She goes, "This is the part." She goes, "I see him using it to take skin off of something." And she realized then what it was, and she was like, "Oh no, gross." She's like, "I'm done." But
Yeah.
so she read that knife. Now when Derek held the knife, he's like, he was doing it, and then he gets to the point, he's like, "Okay, take it away from me," because he was getting the vivid flashes, seeing it being used and all that. And he's like, "Yeah, nope, take it away," because he said he could feel it, like, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I've heard people where the knife was actually jumping off their hands in a way.
oh wow. The
Yeah.
first time he held it, the last time we were there, he said it was as if a hand came up and tried to, around his hand, make his hand grip it. And he's
Mm-hmm.
like, no. He held it and he's like, "Nope, I'm done with it."
And I
So,
know that the shotguns actually are Augusta has an attachment to the shotguns. So, did he hold on the shotguns in there?
he didn't touch the shotguns, just the knife.
Okay. Yeah, some people that get really influence them a lot. I believe Dave from Midwest Spirit Seekers. Now I have to bring him up, and it's Tom. I know you're in here, maybe, um, but yeah, he was holding a knife. He was holding a shotgun, and the more he was holding it, the more he said he was gripping it tighter, and he felt like he had power. Um,
Mm,
and then he dropped the knife, had no idea he did it. Dropped the shotgun, had no idea he did it. So it does consume people in a weird kind of
mhm.
way.
Yep.
So now if Dave's listening, I have to give you a little talking to before he come next time. Um, so we can avoid that issue from last time. So, but other than that, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's like I held a knife the first time I was there. I had Cynthia Drorius on a live, and we're doing like an Estes method in a way. And she's like, "Hey, I've been with you more enough times to know that you ain't you." And
Mhm.
she's like, "Put the knife down and sit down." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
Just
at least you have somebody. That's why we always say you got to have someone with you you trust, or like you said, over the phone or something with you that knows you to be able to step up and say, "Nope, time to stop."
right, right. And a lot of times, ever since that happened with Dave and with the other team I had in there, they had an issue where the lady got angry and wanted to kill everybody and all night, but she
Oh shit.
didn't. She didn't, but she just was angry for us tonight, so it really affected her. So it's like I have to add an extra note. It's like you're doing this at your own risk. Make sure, and I
Mhm.
always tell her on tour, emphasize, watch your partner. If
Yeah.
they get different, they get weird, take everything away and go outside.
Yeah, that's what we were planning right away. As soon as Derek took that in his hands, just in case something tried to attach to him or go in him, it was we were watching him, and all of a sudden he's like, "Nope." He knew it was getting to the point. If he would have kept it, the energy wasn't good. He's like, "Nope, I'm done." And I think he did actually. Why not? What did he do? I think he went outside and ate some chips or something and had a little soda and then came back in and was like, okay, I'm good.
Oh, that's that fresh air though too.
Yep, yep.
It gets mighty cold. Hold on a second. I could my talk. All right, I'm back. My boy had talked to me for a second. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see how Jenny, how she reacts to the stuff when she gets her next year, because I know how bad the principal affects her at Broadhead.
Oh, yeah.
So it might be a little bit difficult for her there. But so what did you think of the rest of the location and the house part?
So, to be honest, I got to go through that when we went up about a month ago with Nikki of Anik Paranormal and Scott.
Okay.
Um, this time we had plans, like there were sessions we knew we wanted to try in different places, like upstairs with the kids, because like I was telling you earlier, that's embarrassing. I got there, I had to use the restroom. I'm in the restroom forgetting what I'm doing because I'm looking up at the ceiling and there are kids running across what sounded like kids running across the floor. And I
Mm-hmm.
know it wasn't Derek, Scott, Tom, or Lori because I hear their voices coming through the vent down on the floor.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, this is good. We're definitely going to go up and interact with the kids. And because we brought certain things to interact with the kids, we ended up in Ed's cell, which isn't Ed's cell, pretty much all night because it just kept, we were getting, when you're getting the stuff like we were getting,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't want to walk away. We're like, you know what? We're a 3-hour drive away. You know what? We can come back again and
Mm-hmm.
do the other areas. Let's stay getting while we're getting, because who knows if next time we came back, if we would keep getting that, if we get the activity that we did get, so
Did you see any shadow figures in there? Because I heard that there's shadow figures in there. I can't really see shadow figures very well in a dark spot anyway, but um I know Nick Simons and Aaron G. Thompson said that they saw shadow figures in there.
I
What
have
was that?
the laser grid. So if you're looking where you come into the Ed cell and look through, there's that other hallway on that side.
Mm-hmm.
And like that not a typewriter thing, but like a typewriter thing there. I had set a laser grid up on there down that hallway, and it went out and we recharged that up and we had that going again. We're laying there because, like I said, we just laid there. I laid in the bed and Derek was crashing on the floor, and we're just talking to the spirits all night. And I'm watching. I normally don't see shadows very easy. Once in a while I can.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you'd see them go down, like pace down and come back. And yeah, it was,
Oh.
Derek was seeing all sorts of stuff all night.
I bet. I bet. I
He
haven't
was
think
finally
sometimes it.
like, guys, just leave me alone. Because they were all over him.
I bet it gets difficult. Sometimes I think you wish you probably could shut it off for a while, huh?
Hmm. Sometimes he can do an extent, but yeah, no, it usually just gets to the point when he's at a location like that, he'll be like, okay, this is my time. Give me a couple hours. Leave me alone. And then they do. But no, we were up and down all night. Like we'd doze off for 10, 15 minutes and then go right back to it and be talking to them. It was a good night. I can't wait to go back, watch the video, listen to the audios, and see all the other things that we got. But the one thing that was so weird,
Mm-hmm.
we were getting great stuff. And I'd be getting the phone or getting the recorder, trying to really focus on what we were getting, and then it would stop
Yeah.
on the one. So I'd be like, Do you want me to put my phone down and stop recording? Every time. Yes. I'd set the phone down or the recorder down, stop recording. Boom, 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 boom. So it was like, okay, fine. So there after a while, it was like, I'm not even going to try to record it. I'm just going to take it. I did have the audio recorder going the whole night, but I'm like, I'm just going to take it in, and because it was so good. You
Yeah.
know, when you get nonstop activity, it was incredible.
Yeah, I got a lot of sessions to go through.
XLS, Jenny, might be a little hard there because of all the bars and things. It tries to map all that out. So
Yeah.
that might be a little hard. That's why we were going to break out the XLS, but Derek and I looked and were like, unless you were sitting in the one hallway only facing down, it'd be kind of hard with all the bars. At least that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Not that it couldn't be done.
I mean, the FLIR would be something like be good in there to use the FLIR, because I did use the FLIR once in there, and then that's the part where I kind of was catching my wife getting choked in the cell.
Oh wow!
And that was from Augusta, because she doesn't like women, so and she was fine afterwards. Like 10-15 minutes afterwards, she was fine, but she just started coughing and coughing and coughing. She's like, God, it feels like something's just grabbing me like right here, and it's just like it was different.
I bet, yeah.
So, but that's just one of those things. And the upstairs jail, I know when you get back there, you'll get to do that, because we had a good time up there on the 7th, and we did um the flashlight game with Job up there, and man, that was a lot of fun. It was going on for I'd say hour and a half, just back and forth.
Wow, yeah.
And then she actually moved it from the cell that he's actually supposed to be in. She moved on top of the TV that was on there, and it says, "Can you find the flashlight again?" Boom, turn it on again.
I love it.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. I like that when that happens in the flashlight game.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like the was it the Epoch thing from Ghost Gear?
Epic Box, yeah,
Epic
yeah,
Box, that's it.
yep.
I'm looking at one of those because those are very interesting, and I heard they're very highly accurate.
They seem to be. I swear by it. It is like our go-to. We got the one that doesn't talk.
Yep.
He's got now one that comes out and says yes, no when they light up.
Yeah.
I personally ain't gonna go with the one that talks, and the only reason is we've used it in other ways than just yes, no.
Mm-hmm.
We were like at the Y, because there are, the card games and things played.
Right.
Okay, here's this card and that card. Which card is higher? Light up the red for this card, green for that card, and doing things like that. Or if you were playing cards, which hand of cards would you want? I'd hate for the answer to be right and hear no, come across. So we're sticking with the one that doesn't talk, but if you can get a piece of equipment, I highly recommend taking that anywhere, because every time we've had amazing results with that.
Yeah.
Like Rob really outdid himself with that one.
I like using ESP cards and see if they can see the shapes and stuff like that.
Ooh, I'll have to check that out. I never thought of that one.
It's different.
That's like Ghostbusters thing, huh?
Yeah, kind of like that, because I know earlier, was it this year or last year, I was doing it with the crowd, with the people in the audience, like, hey, what kind of card am I holding up? I was playing in the ESP game on here, and some got it right, some didn't, some got more than others. It was actually kind of fun. Now I think of it, I better bring it back.
There you go.
So, but yeah, I mean, that's just kind of like on a topic where I didn't really have a topic in a way. It's like, hey, let's just open up open mic night, and because I like doing open mic night to see what other people have for discussions. So, ideas for not Saturday.
Next Saturday. Oh yeah, I'm going to be with.
For next Saturday. Sorry.
We're going to be at the Bell Mansion, so we're excited for that. And
she said NXT. I was thinking wrestling.
You and your wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. Paramike night. Yeah, there you go. And in fact, Amy and Scott, if Scott's going to come up, her husband Scott, we have Deidre and her husband, and maybe Scott Bowser, if you're still listening, you want to come to Broadhead on the 4th. That's where we're heading for the last investigation for the year.
We were going to be done after the 28th, and now we're going to Bell with Jenny on the 4th, and then the next Saturday we're going to go up to Palmer in Minnesota.
Palmer.
We're looking forward to that. And then, another great one. I hope it's okay I'm saying it, but we're going to be at Old Baraboo Inn December. It's the first Saturday in December. Is it the 2nd or 3rd? We're going to be doing something there with Shelley, the owner of Old Baraboo Inn. That's going to be great because it's the 90th anniversary of the end of Prohibition. So what better place to have an event? A place where Al Capone was doing all his illegal bootlegging and everything. So
are you going to replay the bootlegging?
What's that?
Are you going to replay the bootlegging?
I don't know. Shelley's the one handling all that, but it is going to be amazing. She's putting a lot of work into it, so I can't wait to see what she does.
Wow. So what's with the Palmer House? I never really heard about that one.
I haven't done a lot of my history yet. I've heard it's an incredible location. Some friends of ours called us up, said, "Hey, my birthday's November 11th. We're going to do this. Will you and Derek come and join us?" We're like, "Oh, hell yes." Jenny would too. I just love her. We'll get there and Jenny will be waiting at the door. Yeah, I've never been there, Jenny, so I'm looking forward to it.
And the Bell Mansion should be pretty interesting when you do that one. I've heard a lot of great stuff with that.
I have too. I'm excited.
Now, another thing I've kind of heard, and I don't know if this is true or not. Nick's not in the discussion tonight, but are they doing a Netflix series in the Bell Mansion?
I don't know. No clue.
That'd be interesting because, from what I understand, there's like 4 out of the 6, I think it was, from 28 Days Haunted. We're gonna be there to do a series or like a mini series.
I know they're doing like a mini Paracon or something, aren't they, Jenny, in January? But yeah, I'm not sure. So
interesting. Let's see. 20 Days Haunted. Yep. Cast is doing an event there. Okay, that's what I thought. I wasn't sure if it was going to be another Netflix event that they're going to do because I kind of heard. I thought they're going to do a season 2 of the 20 Days Haunted with totally different group of people.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah,
I wouldn't either. I got rid of my Netflix.
I should, but I never will because gotta have something in the background while I'm on the phone playing.
Well, there's just so much stuff out there, so much streaming stuff, and it all adds up. I'm like, okay, well, something's got to go here that I'm not watching too much of. So, we'll see if I bring it back or not. I don't know. It's just expensive. It's like $20 for.
I know it keeps going up now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And then Max has got a lot of good stuff, and they're adding sports now. So I think Max is going to be like $25. So I'm like, I'd rather go with the Max because I got my sports in there that I like to watch. So
yeah, there was the time it was easier. It was less expensive to have your satellite dish or then do all the streaming than the satellite dish. But now all the streaming ones are $25 for this, $25 for that. It's like you're almost to the price of what it was to have your dishes. Hey, Alan.
Hey, Alan.
He's, Alan.
Oh yes, I had him on.
Yep, Alan's
Um,
awesome. His book, Stagecoach Inn, and he's working on a new project. We're going to see if we can bring back investigations to the Stagecoach Inn.
oh
That's
wow.
a new project that I'm helping. I hope it's okay. I'm saying this, Alan, that I'm going to be helping him work on is helping get investigations back to the Stagecoach Inn.
I thought he'd swear he'd never go back.
He's not going to. Yep, there we go. We're working on some big news. Yeah, he said he himself will not investigate,
Yep.
but as a member of the historical society, he could be there to
Observe.
supervise and make sure the location is taken care of.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah,
There you
so
go.
we're hoping next spring is what we're hoping for, that if all goes well, maybe we can have investigations, not like an every weekend thing, but maybe like he said, maybe 3 times a year, kind of a lottery system. You put your name in and
Well, I mean, that's you got to break it in slowly.
mhm.
That's one of those things. I mean, if Lori, if you're still on, I mean, that's kind of what we did with the museum is we broke it in slowly, and and it's really popped, you know.
Mhm.
And I know We Are Paranormal had it before. I got my hands on it, but um, again, it's like you get to February, May, June, and that area, it starts kind of start picking up, but it's still pretty slow yet because of the weather and stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah, but
So
Alan will definitely be there and be on site so that and he's got like the most wealth and knowledge of anybody on that location. So, you know, help raise money for the location, get the history out,
mhm,
all of that. My personal opinion is they'd be crazy not to. Yep, Alan's right. Got to be careful. And like I
mhm,
said, nothing is set in stone. It's just a project we're hoping to have
right.
happen. There's a lot of I's to dot and T's to cross and
Oh
things
yeah,
to have happen for it to happen. But that's,
rain or snow or shine.
I love it.
But yeah, that'll be interesting. I'll be looking for that if someone does a live there. I mean, just to get to see what it looks like inside and work in progress. Yep.
I had the opportunity to go in there back in May,
Okay.
and we did a little bit of investigating. Oh yeah, I would love to have a whole day in there. That place was, but you have to really know when enough is enough. Just
Yep.
like when you're holding Ed's knife, like there was a point where the energy got very overwhelming, and Derek was like, "Okay, guys, I need to step outside for a minute." There
Mhm.
was no stay here. It was okay. Let's go step outside. I mean, I
Right.
went up the burial tree. There's a burial tree there, right? That the tribe of Indians that or natives, sorry, that they had there hung their deceased rather than burying them. And the beads and things would fall off of them. And I went to go up by the tree and I'm standing there and I'm going, I want to touch this tree. But there's like tall grass. I'm not kidding, like over waist high. And I'm going, I'm just going to touch the tree and see if I get energy. And I kid you not, like a voice whispered over my ear, don't touch it. And then all of a sudden, through the grass starts rustling and parting and moving, right? And
Mhm.
I'm thinking, oh, it's probably just a rabbit or a deer, which I saw. I knew it wasn't a deer because it wasn't big enough to be a deer, but because
Right.
I would have seen it. I'm like, oh, it's got to be a rabbit or something. You see it, it comes out of the grass. There's nothing there, comes through the mowed grass, and then keeps going into more tall grass. The grass goes parting again. It's like something was there. Tell me, don't you touch our tree. I was like, okay. I walked away. I said, okay, I'm not going to touch your tree. I'm just going to leave you be. Sorry, meant no disrespect. But it was, I mean, and that's the cemetery there. I mean, so all of this, if they open that up, there would be so much to investigate there. It would be great.
Very cool. All right, monkey. I see you. You're here. It's my little cat. Well, actually, not little. He's 20 pounds, but
the toothless cat, right?
No, this is the other one. This is the one where he's got the tail that goes in the back of his back like that. Instead of going straight up, it goes like this.
Okay.
He's pretty hefty. I have to keep an eye on because he likes to turn my computer off.
Uh-oh.
So, so speaking of stagecoach, so what is the plan for the future for you and the team?
Well, this year, like we said, we've got Oskaloosa Hospital this weekend and the YMCA. We're going to go down to the YMCA, our second home. We're going to go down there on Friday. Saturday, Oskaloosa Hospital, Bell Mansion. I'm going to be with Derek, and I are going to be with Jenny on Saturday. Hey, Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Then the Palmer House in Minnesota, a couple weeks off, with Thanksgiving, then going to Old Baraboo Inn, and we're going to do a birthday thing in December at the Y, and then the New Year's event at the Y, and start planning next year. We've already been talking to Jenny and some other people. We're thinking places like MSP, getting some bigger places on the list next year and hitting some of our favorites too.
There goes my boy with the cat.
Definitely got to get back to Broadhead Manor next year. That's on our list, of course.
Yeah, Broadhead is a lot of fun. There's so much stuff to do there, and it's just one of those places where I just can never get enough of, or get all my equipment used. So, but
yep.
I'm okay. Oh yeah, and Monkey. Okay, so Monkey, when he was younger, he's like 7 right now. When he was younger, he was really skinny, and he would just jump all over the place, just like a monkey. And with his tail being, bent like that instead of going straight up, it's bent like that. It was fitting. His name was Monkey when we got him. We decided, let's just keep it that way. So that's how his monkey got his name. So, but yeah, Broadhead would be cool. I want to get the cigarette pack REM pod because I want to see how that does there in the basement, janitor spot. There's different tools that I got now that I want to try.
Yep.
And then of course I got the Bible that I had on Saturday night just to see how that would do. And people gravitated towards it, and
awesome.
It's something different. I didn't get a whole lot. For those of you that know about the Sheboygan Asylum, it has a chapel, and I thought, oh, perfect spot to put that. So I put it there. Didn't get nothing. Nothing. So, but other than that, next year, it's a month-to-month basis for me.
Bye, Ellen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Later, Alan. Yeah, Amy. Yeah, we gotta definitely see if we can hit the shadow person up in Broadhead, 3rd floor. That's gonna be interesting.
Oh wow, I like Bill's comment. People they should know to leave things alone, and you don't call things out.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious to see how much more hands have burned onto those beams upstairs. He said there's a few more hands that have burned up there, so gonna kind of see how they feel about the Bible, if they want to talk about it and say, hey, do you have a Bible verse that you like, or something I can get in a recorder at least. But wow, I tell you, when we were in the band room, that was fantastic. We had an array of oh, there you go. Back to normal.
That's good.
There you go.
People don't realize when they come in doing that stuff how we can really mess the location up for the owners and other investigators.
Right, right. And, that's what I was to say before about the museum is like when Spirit Seekers were there 3 days after they left, or the next 3 days, it was hectic for Lori and Tom. They actually had something fly off the wall. Hey, Mike. Oh, yes. I played the Lord's Prayer, and I could actually change that to something else. So, I have to change it to something else maybe. But, yeah, that's one of those things. We'll see how it goes. Broadhead's fun. So, and I get to sleep in a good bed, not on the floor. Made
Yeah, the
offerings.
offerings helps, don't they, Bill? Yeah.
I'll bring a couple of cigars again. See if they take my cigars like they did last time. Because he couldn't find them last time.
Oh, wow.
And then all of a sudden, I think it was like 2 weeks, I think he mentioned to me that all of a sudden down in the boiler room, he was smelling cigar smoke.
Oh, wow. I
Yeah.
love it.
So,
Yeah, Derek always brings tobacco, and we bring a few different things depending on where we're going, because he's really big into you make an offering, kind of. It's like he says, it's almost like when you go to a friend's house or someone's house and you bring something with, like whether it be food or drink. He says, we're going into their house. You don't go into their house screaming and hollering, and yeah.
yeah.
So we always do that, and it seems to help.
Right. Mike, I might have to take you up on that offer. We'll see. We'll have to check out next year finances are. But, yeah, in fact,
we need to win the lottery.
yeah, I do. And I could retire and do what I really want to do. But then again, I might retire and go south.
Still, there's still spirits down south.
Oh yeah.
There's more locations.
Right. So, other than that, this is an awesome interview. And got a lot of good information out tonight. Talking about the museum, talking about the Paracon and what's next for you guys. It was a really good episode. Gonna have to you come back on to do some follow up on some of the projects.
Yeah, and definitely check out Old Baraboo Inn for December 2nd and the YMCA for December 31st. Actual ghost hunt or paranormal investigation, whichever your terminology is, on New Year's, complete with the countdown and everything.
I'll be sleeping probably.
Oh yeah, we'll be sleeping there.
That's usually how I go.
I mean, where else can you go? You get an investigation, you do your midnight countdown, walk into another room, and there's mattresses there, and you can go to sleep. Old Baraboo, Mike, is amazing, and they're going to be having an event December, like I said, I think it's December 2nd, but it's the 90th anniversary, the end of Prohibition. So, yeah, definitely hugs back at you, Bill.
Absolutely,
Definitely
Bill.
check that out. It is great.
See you on the 4th, Bill. So, well, I suppose that's over past the top of the hour, and we'll have to get you on again and about 6 months down the road and see where you're at and see how things are going, and just more of a refresher. And
sounds good.
So, all right, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. Remember, you're joining us on the Paranormal Brew and the BB3 TV networks. And if you don't have Facebook, you can join us on the MGS Paranormal YouTube channel. We're on at the same time, and just depends on pick your poison, what you like. So, with that, I see you soon. For Kandi, I'm Darren, and I'll see you Friday. So long, everybody.